Here we go. Grand finals of SCS 198. Lepidoptera Leviathan, coming from winner's bracket, only has to win one game to take the tournament, while the Skyborne Rangers will have to win two. First off, for Triple L, we have the Bamboozle Moth. Judgment. Oh, here we go. Judgment kitted out for close range. Heavy Carronade Hwacha paired with a Harpoon and a Banshee. Their ally, the GFA Docidicus, Light Carronade Hwacha, Gatling Banshee on this Stormbreaker. Their opponents, Skyborne Rangers, we have the Snortstoop Bop Stop, Judgment, Lumberjack Minotaur paired with the Mercury and Light Flak, and their ally, the Strom Sunder, Gatling Hwacha, Banshee, and Light Flak. So blue team definitely will be trying to go for more of a medium to long range fight here to utilize the sniping capabilities of the Snortstoop. With Bamboozle Moth, it's, we don't see a lot of Judgments kitted out for exclusively close range play, because the ship brings a lot of firepower and it's tanky. So if it can close the distance, the ship, then theoretically Judgment could do a lot of damage and be very effective. However, this ship has basically zero mobility, so the hard part is going to be getting into a position where you can utilize the close range guns and then also maintaining that position. Because as I suspect, at least the Stormbreaker Judgment is a matchup that we've seen time and time again. And once the Stormbreaker gets into the Judgment's blind spot, there's really nothing that can be done about it. However, if the Bamboozle Moth is able to alternatively get into a good position on the Snortstoop, that's a very winnable fight. So we'll see how Lepidoptera Leviathan do decide to play this match, as blue team currently has the verticality advantage. They're maintaining open air here, trying to get spots. Red's staying low. They're using the center mountain range to block visibility to their position, because as the close range players here, if they can get the element of surprise, that will be a huge advantage for them, for red team. As Docidicus waits in this cloud, I do wonder, it's possible the Stormbreakers have seen each other. But given the way the Strom Sunder is positioning, it seems like he's still looking for spots, so I'm not sure if the Docidicus's position is known. Definitely is now. We should see a spot here in just a moment. Spots going down, both the blue ships, probably the red Stormbreaker, yes, spotted as well. Bamboozle Moth. I don't think Bamboozle Moth's location is known, but if they want to do something, they're going to have to move in quick. Again, Judgment is not a fast ship. It's not a ship that can really capitalize on an opening very quickly. So it's possible Docidicus is trying to bait blue team into the mountain range so Bamboozle Moth can bamboozle them. I don't think blue team's going to fall for the bait, though, so at some point the red Judgment is going to have to move in. They are playing this very, very cautiously. Well, Snortstoop has moved forward quite a bit. And Bamboozle Moth probably going to be spotted here. They're using hydrogen to try to rise up. But look how... Oh, Docidicus is already taking like a lot of damage. Look how slowly the Bamboozle Moth is moving here. Hwacha comes out. Docidicus already dead by the time the Bamboozle Moth gets their first volley. They did get a Hwacha connection onto the Strom Sunder, and they're below the Snortstoop's arcs. So it's possible... Strom Sunder has charged. They've managed to dodge that push from the Bamboozle Moth. See, this is the problem, though. Once they've lost the element of surprise, they didn't get a great first volley, and now the Stormbreaker is just going to fly circles around this Judgment. There's no way they can catch up in a close range engagement. So as long as blue Stormbreaker doesn't make a serious positioning mistake, like, the Bamboozle Moth's not going to be able to get anything done here. However, Docidicus has spawned in, already re-engaged on the Snortstoop. while Storm Thunder is keeping the Bamboozle Moth disabled. Bamboozle Moth taking a lot of damage from the ground. Here comes follow-up fire from the Snort Stoop. Bamboozle Moth down to about 20%. Perma Hole. Snort Stoop's balloon is down. Snort Stoop taking quite a bit of fire as well. Armor is low on the Blue Judgment. Banshee's coming out. 40% armor is gone. Storm Thunder has moved back here to try to push the Dicidicus away, but has let the Bamboozle Moth out of their lock. And now Bamboozle Moth has good arcs on the Stormbreaker. Watcha comes out. 2 engines down on the Stormbreaker. It's possible Bamboozle Moth can win this fight. Armor's down again. Banshee's coming out. Gatling, Snort Stoop dying in the background to the Dicidicus. And Bamboozle Moth's going to get a ram onto the Storm Thunder. And gets another kill. So, problem there. Blue Stormbreaker, they did not respect the Bamboozle Moth. They had them in a good position. They had a Watcha Barrage. They knocked out the Snort Stoop had knocked out their balloon. But then they disengaged the Judgment to go try to push the Dicidicus away. And in doing so, in a 1v1 fight, Stormbreaker should never lose, but because they left the Judgment, the Judgment was able to they got enough time to reposition, and then at that point, once they got a good Watcha Barrage off, took out engines of the Stormbreaker, and then were able to take the fight in their advantage. Now, Bamboozle Moth's still pretty heavily damaged from that fight. If they get focused down, they're gonna die very quickly, and because this is a close range build, it's a close range build on a very slow ship. It's going to be difficult for them to play this safely. So I think they're probably just going to have to... They could play pretty passively in a way they were kind of at the start of the match, where they're sitting and waiting for blue team to fall into their trap. However, they could also just try to play this aggressively. I don't think blue team's going to fall for the same tactic twice. Especially now with Lepidoptera Leviathan having the point advantage. I suspect we're going to be seeing a lot more respect from the Skyborne Rangers for this close range Judgment. And now both teams finally fully disengaged, so we're going to have a short period of time here where ships are going to be rotating around the center terrain piece looking for spots. Lepidoptera taking the west side of the map. Skyborne Rangers taking the east side. Possible they red team got a quick glimpse of the Judgment. Hard to say. Bamboozle Moth is pointing towards blue team, so I think Lepidoptera know where their opponents are. Dicidicus is now backing up, and interestingly enough, Skyborne Rangers moving towards the north side of the map. Rejoining their ally. They definitely, both teams, despite the fact that we have no spots, based on how the ships are reacting here, both teams definitely know where each other are. And now they're just waiting for them to show each other. Their spots going down for red, onto red, now onto blue. Now we're back to a state of global information here. Blue team has the verticality, red team has a little bit of terrain here. We don't see a lot of fights that take place in the center of Clash, but the bottom of this map there is quite a bit of good defensive terrain, as you see these silos and girders and railroad tracks that can be utilized for a low altitude approach. However, blue team is slowly backing away towards a more open point of the map. And I think Bamboozle Moth, one lumberjack shot away from losing their balloon. Sidicus is moving in, so this will be. I don't know if this is the best. I think the Sidicus is probably going to go for a hit and run here, knowing they can't commit because the Bamboozlemoth is so far behind. However, they are distracting the focus of blue team, so Bamboozlemoth has gotten an opportunity to charge forward without taking too much damage, although Dicidicus taking that damage in return, already down to about 30% permahull, and Bamboozlemoth's armor is still alright, but they've lost their balloon, and once they start losing these gun arcs, Bamboozlemoth not going to be able to contribute to this fight, contribute any damage whatsoever. Dicidicus kind of stuck in a 2v1 here for at least a few more seconds. This is a tough situation for Stormbreaker to tank through. Look at the Hwacha shots coming in, Gatling coming in, armor's going to break here. Light Flax able to finish off the red Stormbreaker, tying up the match. And Bamboozlemoth still struggling with their balloon. At this point, really all you can do, if you are the Bamboozlemoth here, is stick it out, tank, see if there's maybe an opportunity where you can get like maybe one armor break, do a little bit of damage. If Legio Lepidoptera want to play this extremely aggressively, they could try to wait long enough for the Dicidicus to come back in, but I don't think that's good. No, definitely not a possibility here. The Bamboozlemoth, way too low health for them to be able to sustain through that. And they did what they could, but... So next fight, they're going to get a brand new judgment. However, they have given up the point lead to Skyborne Rangers. Keep in mind, if Legio Lepidoptera Leviathan did come from the winner's bracket, so if they lose this game... We're going to go to a second game, which I believe will be on Fernfeld. So if Skyborne Rangers win, it's not over just yet. Red team taking a very far spawn here in the northwest corner of the map. It's possible they're going to be trying to use some of this north position terrain to try to secure their engagement. A little bit surprising they didn't take the closer spawn. You see in the... there's a red spawn right around here. And given that red team is bringing such a close range loadout with such a slow ship in the Judgment, I would have thought that they would they would pick a closer spawn just to minimize the travel time. However, it's possible they did not know exactly where blue team was positioned, thinking that maybe that Skyborne Rangers were already camping out that close spawn location, so the far spawn is a little bit safer. No way blue team would have traveled the map that quickly. However, it does mean they do give up about 20-30 seconds here to close that distance. Once again, moving to center map. Seems like Dicidicus is passing through to the north side of the mountain range. But they were spotted until just a moment ago, so this is not going to be a surprise. They're not going to be able to get the drop on the Skyborne Rangers, which is probably what they were hoping. Maybe it would have been smart to wait a few seconds before going for this play. Because you see Stromsunder is already moving to contest the red Stormbreaker, making sure nothing sneaky is going on. And as a result, Dicidicus now flying back to their ally, realizing that that's not going to work. I think they maybe just hadn't realized how long they were spotted for. But once they saw the Stromsunder repositioning, they knew that whatever they were going to do was not going to work. Now, Bamboozlemoth is continuing maintain this very low altitude position. I think Skyborne Rangers probably know where the Bamboozlemoth is located. And this low position, while it does protect our guns from incoming Artemis fire, it does not protect their balloon, so... and the Judgment, being a heavy ship, does not rise very quickly. It has low vertical acceleration, so if Bamboozle Moth's balloon starts taking damage, they could be just basically removed from the fight for a very long time. However, the Storm Soup has switched focus to the Dosidicus. It's possible they just... Either blue team does not know where the Bamboozle Moth is located, or they don't care. But the Bamboozle Moth has now moved in. They're utilizing their close-range guns. You know, I said earlier that was a heavy carronade. I think that's a, that's the other the medium range. The Nemesis carronade. I don't know if I made that clear earlier. They do have a little bit of medium-long range damage from the Bamboozle Moth. Is now Snortstoop has been disengaged. Bamboozle Moth's moving forward to fight the Strom Sunder, but not quick enough. This is one of the issues with having a slow ship that only has close-range weapons, is you're not able to switch focus or reposition very quickly. So Ally Dosidicus was losing the fight against the Strom Sunder. Bamboozle Moth was not able to engage fast enough to save them. And that's a big cost in this sort of a loadout. And that's going to be the game. First game of the grand final set going to the Skyborne Rangers. And next game, going to be on Fernfeld. Last game of the last set of the day between Skyborne Rangers and Legio Lepidoptera Leviathan. Winner of this game will take the tournament. The winner of this game will be the champion of SCS 198. First off, for the Skyborne Rangers, we have the Aloha Away, piloted by Delorum, is a Hwacha Goldfish with dual light carronades. Their ally is the Strom Sunder, Stormbreaker, Gatling Hwacha Banshee, and Light Flak. Their opponents, Legio Lepidoptera Leviathan, bringing the Fairy Moth, Artemis, Gatling, Light Flak on the Squid. We saw this a little bit earlier in the day. And their ally, the GFA Dosidicus, Light Carronade Hwacha, Gatling, and Banshee. Now, blue team immediately abandoning their spawn position to move to the south side of the map. Seems like red team, at least at the onset, going to be trying to chase them. I wonder if their target is this piece of terrain here, which we do see come into play on these southern parts, southern fights on this map. So I'll be curious to see if red team, looks like, at least for now, as despite the fact that blue team does have the defensive advantage of this terrain, has decided to chase. Now, Fairy Moth is engaging them at a very high altitude. Dosidicus, not quite in the fight, going to have to hydrogen up. And once these Hwachas start connecting, that's going to really dictate the fight here. Fairy Moth does have the Artemis, so first Artemis shot going to the Light Carronade, not what they want to hit. One target going into the Hwacha. And Stormbreakers have just flown off into the sunset to go fight each other. And Aloha Away going for a flank on the Fairy Moth. Fairy Moth saying, "See ya, buddy." And we're going to have our first dual focus of the game. Now, with Fairy Moth engaging with the Dosidicus, targeting the red Stormbreaker. Aloha coming in from behind. They're a little bit far away to use the Hwacha, so we're going to get some prime dual focus here, at least a few seconds worth, before the Goldfish is able to re-engage in one of these targets. Seems like red Goldfish's target going to be the Dosidicus. As the Hwacha comes out, we see the first armor break on the Strom Sunder. Light Flax from the Fairy Moth a little bit late. And now Fairy Moth disengaging to go for the Aloha. Look at this dual focusing from Triple L here. They just do enough damage, just outmaneuver their target just enough to get them into a position where they can't quickly reposition to assist their ally, get the red team, their opponents, split up a little bit, and then Fairy Moth just flies away to engage the dual focus with their ally. Now, Strom Sunder, unfortunately, in just a few seconds the Fairy Moth was split from the target, the Strom Sunder was just able to out DPS the other Stormbreaker, getting an extremely fast kill, one clip. So despite the fact that the tactical positioning from blue team looked very strong for most of that fight, Just the sheer amount of damage a Stormbreaker can output. You make one mistake, and that's it for your ship. So Ferrymoth's going to have to try to figure out how to disengage here. Goldfish kind of blocking the exit, making it a little more difficult than one would think for a squid. And they're hydrogening away. They're using Moonshine. I think they're going to be able to disengage here. Going to get a few light carronade shots from the Aloha, but probably not enough to stop the Ferrymoth from disengaging. Now, Dositicus is ready. They're ready to engage here. They waited for just a second to make sure the Ferrymoth was able to disengage, but here they are. Hwacha coming out, engaging on the Aloha way. Not a whole lot of damage. Light carronade shots from the Dositicus as well. And here comes Stromsunder. They're going to get the first Hwacha barrage because Dositicus let theirs loose on the Goldfish. And armor is broken here. Light flak. Stromsunder just dominating the Stormbreaker 1v1s. So this strategy that Lepidoptera is pursuing, I think, would work a little bit better, but their Stormbreaker is getting outperformed here by Red Team, and that's a big problem. It means the Ferrymoth probably can't go for these plays where they're kind of flying around trying to get Red Team to split up. I think Ferrymoth is going to have to play a little bit more defensively to protect their ally, because they're just Dositicus they can't handle these 1v1 Stormbreaker duels. Now Red Team sees where the Dositicus is spotted, very early spot going down, where they spawned, and is moving in to engage. Ferrymoth in tow. Artemis shots coming out from the Ferrymoth, forcing the Stromsunder to turn around, show them a little bit of respect. Now the Aloha and the Dositicus stuck in what simultaneous Hwacha barrages coming out. two Hwacha barrages, no components disabled. Don't see that very often. And now the Dositicus is gonna, it looks like, try to disengage from the Goldfish, go for the Stromsunder, but the Stromsunder is ready with a Hwacha barrage of their own, and they're now popping Drogue Shoot to try to duck away. But Ferrymoth goes for a ram with their balloon, which does a lot of damage to the Stromsunder. But Hwacha barrage going to disable the Ferrymoth and potentially kill the Ferrymoth. Ooh, just so much damage. It's unfair how much damage the Stormbreaker is able to do. It truly is. And now Dositicus, hopefully their engines don't take too much damage here as they try to moonshine away out of the spawn point. Both the bridge ships are pretty heavily damaged, so if the Ferrymoth is able to spawn in before their ally bites the dust, Triple L could definitely take back this fight. Ferrymoth, close spawn, but is it close enough? Dositicus flying to the top of the map, just trying to stay out of gun arcs as long as they can. Hwacha coming out, huge Hwacha connection from the Stromsunder, and Dositicus just gets evaporated by the follow-up from Aloha, and just, even though Ferrymoth took the close spawn, Dositicus was in too deep, and that's 4 points. That's match point for Skyborne Rangers. What seemed like a very, not what seemed like, what was a very strong performance from Legio, Lepidoptera, Leviathan in the earlier rounds of the tournament, placing them in the grand finals. What seemed like it could be the first tournament for one of the newer teams in our league. Seems like the chance for victory is slowly slipping away from Blue. Now, last week we did see a 4-0 comeback in the grand final, so it's not over. But I believe I said this last week. They're definitely going to have to turn things around. They're going to have to turn around and kick up the level of play that they've been showing. Now, Stromsunder, here we go. If we get an armor break, Stromsunder playing this very evasively, using the Drogue Shoot to duck down. They know as soon as they lose their armor, they're probably going to die. And now Aloha, Hwacha, Dositicus able to dodge. A lot of that Hwacha from the Aloha missing. Fairy Moth switches their focus to the Goldfish. Armor very low here. Armor about to go down. Balloon is blocking a lot of the Gatling, but not enough of it to prevent the armor breaking. Oh, taking a big bump from the mountain, taking away almost all of their remaining health. Goldfish is so low here. Both the red ships are so low. Blue team just needs to put a couple kills on the board and they can start mounting this comeback. Gatling now as the Storm Sunder backs away. I think Fairy Moth is sticking behind. They're going to be switching focus to the Goldfish in just a moment. Using some Artemis shots just to try to keep the Storm Sunder away. Aloha, good Watcher connection on the Fairy Moth, taking out both of their guns. Light Flak is still up, but that's not going to do anything while the armor is still here. Gatling's rebuilt. Are we going to get an armor break on the Goldfish? Mallet hit. Are there enough shots left? It's down. Light Flak able to finish off the Gatling. And now Fairy Moth just needs to run and save their ally because Dusitacus is getting rolled over in the Stormbreaker duel. Oh, and unfortunately, despite the fact the Storm Sunder, that the Dusitacus had a huge health advantage, Stormbreaker, just their experience with the ship, allows them to carry their team to victory. And that's going to be 5-1 for the Skyborne Rangers, and they are your SCS 198 champions. Congratulations to them.